what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Ways of the Sith. Thank you so much for taking time to check out the channel. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Ways of the Sith. Today, we're going to check out the brand new release from G.I. Joe Classifieds, Kamakura. All right, and here's our look at the front of the packaging. So, funny story, this figure was supposed to arrive, I think, over a week ago now. It got lost somewhere in Alabama and Arkansas down by Robo territory. But finally it arrived today. They had, I think, until tomorrow to deliver it, and then I had to cancel it and order another one. But finally it arrived. It did ship in the actual shipper box. So no other packaging to it, just literally in the shipper box, and then, you know, the packaging like this. Now, this is the front look at the packaging and the artwork, and it's not my favorite. I'm not a fan of like this cartoony art. I would prefer the other artist that does the majority of the artwork to just be the uniform artist. I do like this packaging, like I said, way more than the Star Wars Black Series and the Marvel Legends that they're doing now, because of the fact that like it actually looks good, you know what I mean? But I would prefer the more consistent artist. Like, we have that artist on the side there. Why couldn't they do the front? I just would have preferred that. But let's get this open and take a look. All right, so here's our look at Kamakura outside of the package. And here he is strapped to this cardboard coffin. And we got a different type of footlocker. So I was under the impression all the footlockers were supposed to be the same size. I didn't realize that they were doing like smaller footlockers. Cool, I guess it works because you can stack them on top of one another and, you know, kind of give it that nice effect for a backdrop or something like that. But it was a little bit of a surprise to see the smaller footlocker with him, which is cool. So let me get this off the card and we'll check them out. So here is our look at Kamakura outside of the package. And right off the bat, the one thing I noticed, again, is this upper torso piece is super loose. And it affects the balance of the figure when you're trying to pose him. Same thing happened to Tomax. Same thing happened to my Snake Eyes. My Snake Eyes was super loose. But here's a look at Kamakura. And as you can see, he's got a lot of jointing to him, which is great. He's got butterfly joints, the joints on the hinges, double elbows, double knees, everything's pinless, looks great. So for those that don't know, this is Sean, who is basically a comic book character originally that was created in the previous company that used to do G.I. Joe before IDW got them back. And basically they created Kamakura, who was son of one of the Freds from the Cobra program. And he basically joined up with Stalker and Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes unit and was trained by Snake Eyes. So this is that iteration of him. Now, currently in the comic book, he's actually the current Snake Eyes. So they did something where basically, similar story, he got recruited, he joined the team, but when Snake Eyes actually got killed and sacrificed his life to kill Serpentor, Sean ends up kind of becoming the new Snake Eyes. Parts of Snake Eyes' memories get put into his body, and he basically takes over the role. So currently in the story, and one more issue to go, he is currently Snake Eyes right now, but the original Snake Eyes did get resurrected and is making a comeback for the final issue. So that should be pretty cool. With Kamakura, like I said, you see how I'm already having a little trouble with the weight? That's that joint in the middle. So we do get the bag again. Open it up, dump it out. Let's see what we got. We got a lot of goodies with Kamakura. He was a deluxe price point. Not that I really felt like he needed to be. Some of this stuff we could have gone without. Some of it we definitely need with him. But again, it's kind of your discretion. Do you want to wait to get him on sale, or do you want to, you know, pick him up now while you can? So here is a look at the alternate head for Sean. Really cool. Looks great. Looks exactly like him from the comic book. He comes with the hood like Storm Shadow and the down hood like Storm Shadow. He also gets the movie Storm Shadow backpack for the swords. He gets a plug-in belt, a pistol, and the Snake Eyes knife, or the Lady Scarlet knife, one or the other. Yeah. All right, so I swapped out the head, and one thing I did notice, it's got almost an uncanny resemblance to Sam Witwer. Like, you could easily paint this hair black and use this for a Star Killer, which now kind of has me thinking a little bit. But one thing I did notice is this head is like incredibly loose. Like the peg hole for the peg, it's a little bit too big. So like the head doesn't it just like is sitting on the peg. It doesn't actually attach, which I don't really care for. That's not really a good look. Here are the two swords that he comes with. Again, a lot of reuse from the movie line. So again, this could have been prevented from being a deluxe, but they felt like basically giving you all the stuff that they couldn't sell in the movie line. If you notice, the swords one sword does have like a green to it, so they did do some painting at least. You get the Uzi, and then you get these half blades and the staff from the female Snake Eyes character. I forget her name right now as I'm doing this review figures. But you get these weapons. It looks cool. I gotta say though, the looseness to the figure, and then the fact that the head really doesn't fit on properly, kind of is a bummer. It's kind of taken me out of enjoying, you know, this review. This was a figure I was really looking forward to, and that's kind of disappointing. All right, here's Kamakura with all his weapons, and also I realized he doesn't have any place to store these. So he comes with all this stuff, but has no way of storing it, and gave him these horrible looking. So like, I don't have the movie Storm Shadow, so I didn't see what this actually looked like on like the back of a figure, but this looks awful with the swords. I gotta say, I'm really disappointed in this figure. If I had to give you my opinion, I would say wait till it goes on clearance. I wouldn't go out and pick this up because I'm thoroughly disappointed in a lot of things on this, which I'm normally not in G.I. Joe. I'm normally in love with these figures, but I don't know, there's something about this that just looks really half-assed. All these extra accessories for no reason, and instead we could have gotten a better sword sheath and maybe something to hold these guns. Probably didn't need all of these guns, but again, with the issues with him standing and posing and like that tilting on top of the other stuff, I would say wait for him. Now here's a look at the Shawn head on the Snake Eyes body. You do need to do some modifications, which I'm not going to do. So the head is just kind of sitting on top of there right now, but you do need to just widen the neck peg hole if this is a look that you're going for. Otherwise, I think it looks cool. I think like putting Shawn on this version of Snake Eyes is probably like a good way to have him in your display. But like I said, you do have to widen that neck hole just a little bit on the head, not the figure. You know, it's just got a little bit bigger of a peg there. So you just got to widen that just a tiny bit, and you should be able to pop that on no problem. All right, so that'll do it for today on Kamakura. As I said, I would wait for it to hit clearance in a couple weeks. I'm kind of already like disappointed in myself for paying full price for this, because out of all the G.I. Joe classifieds, this is the first one I've actually been like disappointed with, especially for the deluxe price point. The reuse of the movie stuff is just kind of a waste on this figure. You could have gave him proper sword sheaths and just the swords, especially since there's no way to store the guns, and called it a day on a regular figure package. You know what I mean? So I personally didn't see the need for this to be marked up, other than the fact that like it's an obscure comic book character, so they marked it up because they felt like they gave you a lot of value with all this Snake Eyes stuff that nobody wanted to begin with. Otherwise, cool figure. The design looks cool, but again, that joints and just the problems with the weight shifting because of it is gonna make it a problem standing on my shelf. But let me know in the comments what you guys think, and if you're gonna go out of your way to pick this up, or if you're gonna hold off and just wait. Thanks so much again for checking it out, and as always, may the force be with you. Oh, and one last thing, just to amuse myself. Here's a look at the head on the Inquisitor body. And I gotta say, this has a pretty high chance of getting the hair painted black and being my star killer on my shelf. This does look a lot like Sam Wetwer. I'm probably gonna be making this custom, so stay tuned. Thanks again, guys.
We would be honored if you would join us.